Is my screen is visible to everyone? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So what I am showing that within the tag, suppose I have written here that paragraph tag. I have written this great text is a paragraph. Within the paragraph tag element, that is the tag, and whatever is I have written, that is the element of the tag. From that element, if you want to comment something, like I want to comment that great text, I just wanted to print this is a paragraph, but that great text I want to comment it. You can do it by using that symbol. So that output will be that just because that great text I have commented out, that means this will display this is a paragraph. And look, this is the output. I am refreshing this many times, but still it is showing the same result. This is a paragraph because that great text, that element is available. This after this, that great text I have been commented out. Okay. HTML colors. Okay, colors name you can change. There are in HTML suppose 140 standard color names. That is not possible to remember all the 140 colors name. From the color picker you can change. You can pick your any color. H1 now H1 style background color hello world. P style background color tomato. Let's see. Suppose like here look. That hello world I have written, I have changed that particular hello world background. I don't want to change the whole website background. I was wanted to change that particular text I have written as a paragraph or as in a heading. That thing, if I want to change the color, that time I can do it. That also I can do it. And how to change it by using the thing. See. That H1, that style is the attribute. That means I need to use that style attribute within the H1 starting tag. Style equals to background color Dodger blue hello world, and that's the heading one because I am using that H1 tag. And that paragraph tag style that paragraph lorem and that if some aged that paragraph I have put it that dummy paragraph background I also wanted to change. Just because I am changing the background color within that H1 tag, that means only for that H1 tag that background will be changed, nothing will not be changed. Okay, Control S and let me run the program. For the H1 tag, and not only one attribute you can use. Suppose that hello world you want to move it to the center. That for that what you need to write, how you can change the position of that hello world text to the center. Can you tell me? Let's just now we have done this a few minutes earlier. How to change the position of that hello world? Anyone can tell me? Anjali, Aruna, Baboshan, Chanda Kumari, anyone can tell me. Sandeep,
Center tag, sir.
is there any center tag?
Yes, sir. We
No,
can use center tag.
center tag is there. Or you can, I have told you that text, I just,
So align tag.
huh? Yes, that is the align tag, that text align tag. That is the text align tag. Where is the text align tag? Just few minutes earlier, I have said text align tag. Look, text align center.
Removed, sir.
Hmm?
Double inverted comma remove. Yes.
Background color and text align. Look. Now the text is become in the center. Text color, you can also change the text color. Now the text color have been changed. Look, multiple attributes I'm using. H1 style, just you need to write style only one time. Then double quote, start your double quote, background color colon, dodger blue. Then the termination symbol, text align center, color tomato. Background color is this, text align to the center, and the text color, that color equals to tomato. That means the text color will be tomato. Multiple attribute I'm using in the single line for the single tag. That thing you can do, you can use a single attribute for a single tag, or you can use multiple attributes for a single tag. Just like we are doing that h1 that multiple attributes that we are using for the h1 tag, that you can use for the paragraph tag and any other tag also, that you can color actually. And that border color, that border color, what is the border color? That border, hello world, and that is the border color. H1 style equal to border 2 pixel solid tomato 2 pixel. That border, then you need to mention the width of that border. That border you are giving. Here I am mentioning that border will be only 2 pixel. If you are increasing that size to 4, 5, 6, or whatever as per your requirement, that border size will be, that width of that border will be increased. Let's check it. Border 2 pixel by study. Control C, background color tomato, and that G, border 2 pixel solid violet. Okay. I'm doing this for the paragraph tag, not for the H1 tag. So that changes will be in the paragraph tag. That, look, can it, is my screen is properly visible? Can you see that purple, that violet border have been come that within that background, within the paragraph tag? Let me
Yes,
increase,
sir.
let me increase the size. Let me do it into the 10 pixel, and that will see the what is the color of the road. So let me make it black. Okay, black. property শুধু black দিলে আসছে না। A border that I have increased the pixel of the border, that means that width of that border have been increased to the 10 pixel, and that color, that border color I have given in black color, solid black. That is, that border is given in 10 pixel solid black. HTML style CSS. Okay, CSS. What is CSS? I have told you that CSS is the cascading style sheet. What is CSS cascading style sheet? Is used to format the layout of a web page. With CSS, you can control a color, font, the size of the text, the spacing between elements, how elements are positioned and laid out, what background images or background colors are to be used, different things that you want to do. Using the CSS, just you can change the color, font color, you can change the font size, you can change the text size, you can change the background color, you can change the background images, and that spaces in between the text and the border, that space also you can increase. There are that tip. What is the tip? The word cascading means that a style applied to a parent element which will also apply to all children elements within the parent. So if you set the color of the body text to blue, all heading paragraphs, okay, we will see it later. Using CSS, there are in HTML5, there are three kind of CSS. There are three kind of CSS. That is, one is inline CSS, second one is the internal CSS, third one is the external CSS. Inline CSS, internal CSS, external CSS, that is a very important question for the interview, that how many types of CSS is available in the HTML5. There are three types of CSS is available, that is inline CSS, internal CSS, and external CSS. And what is the inline CSS? In the previous example, we are using an attribute, that is a style attribute, within the tags, within the starting tag, like here, h1 style equals to color blue, then a blue heading, that heading I have given, and I am using that h1 tag, and I am writing some dummy paragraph within that h1 tag, that is the elements of that h1 tag, and we are using attribute as a style attribute for changing the background color, changing the font size, changing the position of the text by using the style attribute. That style is the part of that CSS, and the way you are using that style within the tags starting, where where your tag is starting, in within the starting tag you are using that style, that is the inline CSS. That means within the line you are using that CSS. That is that style you are using. That means you are using the CSS, cascading style sheet. That is the inline CSS. That previous example I have done. And what is the internal CSS? Previous was in the inline CSS because you are doing it in the line. And what is the internal CSS? There are three kind of: inline, internal, and external. Let me copy that code first. Look, doc type HTML, HTML tag started here, HTML tag ended here. Okay, that is the basic syntax. Then I have started the head tag and started Look, in before we are using inline CSS. Just because we are using inline CSS, for that reason, what we are doing, we are writing that style attribute within that h1 tag, where that h1 tag is starting that tag. In the starting tag, we are using that style attribute, but here we are doing the, we are not doing the inline CSS, we are doing the internal CSS. And how to use here that head part in that HTML body, in that HTML programming, there is a tag, is a head tag. Within the tag, within the head tag, what I am doing, I am writing, or I'm starting the style tag and I'm ending the style tag. Okay, I'm starting the end. Okay, let me remove it. Control X. Okay, let's suppose. And within that body, I'm using H1. This is a heading. P, this is a paragraph within the paragraph tag. And I want to use the CSS, or I want to style that H1 tag and that paragraph tag. But I don't want to write that style attribute in the H1 tag or in the paragraph tag. I want to use the inline CSS. For that reason, what we are doing, within the head tag, under the head tag, I am starting that style tag. That style tag I am starting, and then within the style tag, I have started the style tag here. Here I have started the style tag. Here I have ended the style tag. And within the style tag, I want to color the H1 tag, whatever the content I have written within the H1 tag, and whatever the paragraph I have written in the paragraph tag. Within the style tag, just we are mentioning body, that means the body of that web page, that body, or the that body background color, that curly braces I have started, background color is powder blue, H1 that color is blue, paragraph that color is red, and I have ended the style tag. That is not the inline CSS, that is the internal CSS, and this is how you change it. Look, what I have done, body background color will be powder blue, H1 color will be blue, and paragraph color will be red. Are you getting? This is the internal CSS. And what is the external CSS? What is the external CSS? If you want to, separate what we are doing in the previous example, in one program, we are writing that HTML, and also we are writing that CSS also. But if you want to, if I want to write that HTML code separately and that CSS code separately, I want to write in the another page, I want to take where I will write my HTML code. In the another page, I will write that HTML and that CSS, not in only one page. I have written that HTML code as well as that HTML, that H1, P1, that P tag, and that H1 tag. That is the part of that HTML. But you were writing within the style tag, in the head section. That is not the HTML. That is the CSS. That is the internal CSS. That means within the page, this is the combination of HTML5 and the CSS. But if you don't want to combine the HTML and the CSS, that time what you can do, you can separate them, separate the both part, that HTML and the separately that CSS. How you can do it? Let me show you. Doc type HTML, let me copy that thing. Okay. Control see doc type HTML, that HTML tag I have started here, HTML tag I have ended here. Head, within that head, I have written something. I will tell you what I have written and why I have written. Within that body, H1 tag I have written something, within the HP I have written something. Have I done any kind of CSS here? Can anyone tell me just, have I done any kind of CSS here? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Have I done any kind of CSS here? Can anyone tell me? Please answer. No, I haven't done any kind of CSS. Have I used that style tag, that style tag within that H1 or paragraph or the body or the head? Anywhere have I added that style attribute, or
No,
have
no.
I started any style
No, sir.
tag? No. That means
No.
that is a pure HTML tag. That is a pure HTML program. And let me take another page of this. And here I will write and what we are doing is that HTML we are when we are in the time of saving the file after coding, you need to save it as .html extension like that, because this is the HTML file. This is a HTML file. That's why you are saving that in the .html format. But when you are you are creating a CSS file, that time you need to save it as .css. That's demo. Previous one is for the demo.html, that I am giving demo.css, because this is not the HTML file, this is the CSS file. And one thing you need to remember, where your HTML file is available, only particular that folder, only particular that directory you need to save your CSS file. Just because I have saved my HTML5 in the desktop, that's why I am saving my HTML CSS file. That demo is the HTML file. That's why it is showing in like in the browser. That icon is written like a browser, but that is the CSS file. Look, that setting symbol has been come within that logo. That demo is the CSS file. That demo is the HTML file. And why I have saved it in the desktop? Because my HTML file is that HTML5, I have saved it in the desktop. That's why I have saved my CSS file within that in the desktop also. Otherwise, HTML will not get the CSS file. You can save it in the another folder also. But remember, in the same folder, you need to put your CSS file. Okay. And what we have done in the HTML. But if you are saying that HTML and the CSS in the previous one, we are doing in the inline, we are doing in the same page, but here we are doing in the same separate page. How that CSS will get that HTML? You need to link the HTML page, that you need to link that HTML page with that CSS file, right? With that CSS file. And what you need to do in the internal CSS, we are doing it in the head portion. In the external CSS, we will do in the internal CSS what we are doing in the head section. Within the style tag, we are writing the CSS. But here we are not using the style tag because we are using the external CSS. For that reason, we need to use that within the head section. We need to write that get less than link. That link is a tag that don't have any closing tag, that you need to open that link. Then you need to use an attribute that rel, that is a relation, equals to within the double quotes, that is the style sheet, that means the CSS, style sheet, that means the CSS, that the href hyperlink reference equals to the file name, that is my file name is demo.css. Link is a tag, rel is the relation equals to style sheet within the double quotes, then href equals to within the double quotes you need to put the CSS file name, that is the demo.css. Control S. I have saved it because my file CSS file name is demo.css. That's why I have written here that href equals to, we want to link it, that we want to link the style sheet to use the CSS by using href, and that file that we want to link, that is the demo.css. And when now we are page, when you are opening, what we have done in that CSS part, what we have done here with the HTML part, and we have done the CSS part separately. And what we have done in the CSS part, that body, just here you have mentioned that body tag, that you need to give that body curly braces open close, within that block you need to background color powder blue, h1 that color blue, and that paragraph color red. Okay, suppose if your program have lots of, okay, if your program have not only one h1 tag or only one paragraph tag, there are many, more than one. More than one, you don't need to use for the separate for paragraph or separate h1 tag, you don't need to use. Just simply call that h1 will be color blue, paragraph will be color red, and your that h1 and that paragraph. Now you just need to run your HTML file, and that file will be here. Understood the magic of that external style sheet? How to add your external CSS file with your HTML file, and with the thing you can separate the HTML code and the CSS code for your help. Otherwise, if you are writing 1000 of line of code or 1 lakh line of code, if your code is became combined with that HTML and CSS, which one is for the which HTML, which CSS is for the which HTML, you will get nervous. You will not get that properly because your code is 1 lakh of lines. For that time, you can separate your HTML file and separate your CSS file, and then you just need to link it in the CSS file. You do the CSS. You just need to do changes in the CSS. If you want to change in the HTML, you change in your HTML. That will be your help. Are you getting that? What is the thing? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Up to this, anything, any problem anywhere you are not getting, that let me tell you please. If you are not giving any answer, or if you are not saying anything, that means you are not getting anything, or you are getting everything. I will go forward, or if you are not getting anything, that means you are not learning anything. That will be the wastage of time. CSS color fonts and size. In the separate line, when you separated your CSS file, that means you can do your CSS whatever you want. Like here, let me do CSS for the H1, the CSS file H1. Okay. Color blue, font family Vardana, that is the name of a style font family. Font size will be 300. And paragraph will be red, font family will be Courier, and font size will be 160%. That font family is basically, if you are going to if you are opening your Wattpad, look, home, there are lots of names that font family names. Those are the font family. Arial black, Arial rounded empty bold, Arial agency FB. That is the font family. Okay, that is the name of that font family. You can pick anyone from that font family, and within that name, that font family, without the courier or the Hardana, you can use any name. You can pick up anyone from the word, or you can Google for more font family. You can Google it. Okay, let's control it and run the program. That font style is, that font family have been changed, that size have been changed. Okay, notice. CSS border. You can also add a border that is in the CSS part using that. That is the syntax. Border colon 2 pixel solid powder blue. I will write here. The CSS. You don't need to touch your HTML file. Just need to do it in the CSS. Control V, and that and solid will be okay, powder blue. Look, but why it is not coming? Oh, powder blue is not coming because the background color is powder blue. That's why the that border I have given in for the paragraph tag, that was the blue. Let me change it to the green. So, is it clear to everyone? You can this by using that paragraph, that attribute, by using the CSS, you can style your web page, you can design your web page, you can add images, you can change the size, change the position, change the background color. You can change anything by using that HTML. CSS. CSS padding. CSS padding is the CSS padding property defines a padding, that means the spaces between the text and the border. What is the padding? Basically, padding is 300 pixels. Just copy it, Control C, and Control V. Here I get change the V. Control S. Look, first of all, you notice what is the changes is coming when I am refreshing it. Then you will understand what is the padding. Look, are you getting? that
Yes, sir.
border line and that text in between that spaces, that text and that border line in between the space, that is the padding. That space is called padding. Okay, I have applied for the all the paragraph for all the h1 tag. That is the padding. Look, that is the padding. That space is called padding. And there is a margin property. Margin equals to 15 pixels. Just see the changes. I am doing it in the practically so you guys can understand. Will be, look, I'm not doing anything separately, and that thing that you can understand properly, you can understand in that HTML part. Maybe there is someone that will not get the thing, but here just what changes I am doing, just simple changes for the h1 or paragraph tag, just simply writing padding 300 pixel, margin 50 pixels, color blue, font family that is, font size that is. That's doing the simple thing. You can make a big changes into your website. The external CSS. Just save it and change. See the changes. That spaces between the all the borders, that changes. That will be changes. Look, are you getting? Are you getting the changes? That spaces. That spaces in your from that heading one, that border to that border, that border to that border, and that border to the left and that right in the top and the button also, that space is the margin.
Padding.
Yes, margin, not
Margin.
padding. That line and that text in between that, within that border and that text, that space, that look at my cursor, that space is the padding. That spaces is beside that in the left side of the border, in the right side, and then in between the paragraph and then heading, that border in between spaces, that is the margin.
Margin.
Link to external CSS, I've already done it. How to link it? Just need to, this is the way. Link relation style sheet within the head tag. You need how you can connect your CSS file with your HTML file. HTML file head tag, within that head tag you need to start that link tag, and then you need to use that rel, that relation. Rel is basically for relation, equals to rel equals to double quote style sheet. That should not be changed. That size style sheet will be the same. Only href equals to that will be changed as per your file name, file CSS file name. Here you need to give your CSS file name, whatever. Just because my CSS file name is demo.css, that's why I have written here that is a demo.css. HTML link, I have already told you, different colors. Okay. Suppose V and writing. Okay. And when you are copying this, okay, let me. Can anyone tell me what I have done from the H1 tag to the paragraph tag? Can anyone say?
Comment line.
Yes, I have commented the whole thing. So the thing will not be displayed anymore. Now you just see You just see, I have hyperlinked a link, visit google.com. When I will click on that link that will redirect me to the Google. Okay, but this is in a color blue. If you want to change that text color in any different color, that you also can do. How to do it? Just you need to do that thing. Let's see in the CSS part. Okay, in the CSS part, you can do it. Link. Why a dot link? Because why a dot link? Sorry, I have copied it. What I am doing, a, that means we want to color the anchor tag, that link tag, a colon link, and that link color will be green, background color will be transparent, text decoration is none. Visited, color will be pink, background color will be transparent, text decoration is none. Hover will be red, background color will be transparent, text decoration will be underlined. Active is yellow, background color is transparent. What is the changes? Let me see. That is blue. Okay. Look, this is a pink. Color is link is color is pink. Visited because I have visited. When I am clicking on link, hovering on that, that means it is become red. When I am clicking on that, look, that is became, look, color is changing. When I am clicking, it will be became. That is visited pink over red, active yellow. That means I am activating. When I am activating, just try to see properly that link will be for the nanosecond. It is getting yellow. Look, it is getting yellow, na? Are you getting that? Hello.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's how that is the visited. When it will be visited, that will be pink. That when I am hovering on it, I am moving my cursor on that link, that will be in red. And when I am clicking, when I am activating it, that will be become yellow. Let me open it again. Look, that color is transparent. I am hovering on it, it is red. Clicking on it, yellow, and then become pink. Getting? That is the changes. That's how you can change your link color. HTML images I have done it already. Image syntax, alternate syntax, SRC attribute, that is by using the image tag SRC, just give the name and alternate name, and height width you can give it. Image size, height width, I have already told you. Width and height and style. You can use, if you are adding some images, if you want to CSS, if you are using that external CSS, like here I am using that external CSS, like here I am using that external CSS, and if you want to changes, if you want to make changes on that CSS, like here, just you need to use that image img and like this. You can write it Control V. In that last time, what I am doing, image is the tag. That img curly braces, I want to set the width is 100%. Okay, that's how you can change the CSS, because changing the height, that changing the style, changing the position, changing the color, and all are the part of the CSS. And we are using that external CSS. That's why I am using that image. I'm calling that image within the curly braces. I'm setting the width is 100%. Image in another folder. If you have your image in a subfolder, you must include a folder name in that SRC attribute. Suppose just because here my images is in the desktop, just because my images is in the desktop, that's why that I'm just giving that image name only. But if you are putting that is in a separate folder in a separate directory, that time you just need to use that slash, then the directory name, then the second slash. How many folders? Slash folder name slash folder name slash folder name. Like how you can do the set the path. Understood? And image floating, use the CSS float property to let the image float to the right or to the left of the text. Let me add an image. Look, that image I have floated to the right. That image I have added, that image is became to the right top of my screen, because I have used that float right. That image I have floated in the right. You can float it right, float it left. Just need to look. This is floating right, floating right. Okay. That's why you can change the position. HTML background image. Like the thing, right? We are adding a background color to the website. Like here, we are just changing the background color of that web page, that body in that HTML body, in that body of that HTML. What we are doing in the body tag, we are using the background color will be powder blue or whatever the color is. Like here, we can change the how you can we are changing the background color like that. We can change the background image. How we can do it? We can do it by the style equals to background image of a paragraph. You can use that background image of that body also. Let me tell you that body part. It's on a page. Okay. So see, we are using background image URL and that in the image name. When you are using that external CSS, that is the syntax you can add the image. And let me see that how we can add the background image. We can change the size also. Look, background cover equals to background image is this background repeat, no repeat, background attachment fixed, background size cover. That size, that background image I am adding into the CSS, that I can change it. Background repeat, no repeat, background attachment fixed, background size is cover. Okay, let's look. That background of that your web page is that images is coming into your background because you have added that background image. Yeah, I have commented out, but still it is showing. I don't know why. Let me remove that. Oh, actually I haven't. And let me uncomment that. So now look, that headings and that paragraph and that background, that images is in the background on in the that paragraph is on that images. You can easily understand that I have set that images on the background. Are you getting that adding an images in the web page and setting an images in the background? What is the difference? Hello, look, that is the difference. Are you getting the difference? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
And background size you can make it 100% because why for just a minute. What I have background size is covered, but it will cover the total background, but that images it's not displaying properly, like that images cut it some portion, but I want to fixed that images in the 100%. In the width, that is the 100%, that means 200% means that 100, and the another 100%, one is for the width, one is for the height. And when I'm saving this, see the difference. Look, now that images is set properly in your background. Okay, so that's all for today. In the next session, we will complete the rest of the HTML, and then I will start that CSS, a little bit of CSS, and then the IDs and classes. Some important part have been left today because lack of time. I can't show you. Okay, this is for the today. In the next session, I will tell you the rest HTML portion. Okay, up
Hello, sir.
anyone have any problem?
Sir, Java section is completed.
Yes, Java section have been completed.
Okay, sir. Please send the PPT in group, sir. We
Okay,
will practice.
I will send you the PPT. Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
And up to this, anyone have any problem regarding the today's session? Anyone have any problem? So you just tell me, and please try to practice. Otherwise, HTML is basically you need to remember that tags is basically for the tags, that uses of tags, what tags, which tags do what thing, for adding an images, for styling the thing, for making the bigger size of text, making a smaller size of text. That thing, that different tags, that HTML is basically depend on the tags. And you just need to, in HTML, that logic is only 20%, but you need to just remember that in Java is the 100% logical programming language. Just because HTML is not a programming language and HTML is not a case sensitive. In Java, if the class name, if you are starting a class name with a small letter, that time that you will get an error, because every time a class name in Java have to start with the capital letter. But in the HTML5, if you are writing, there is no restriction that you need to write that in capital, you need to write that in smaller. There is no restriction, you can write it, because HTML5 is very easy to learn, and and it is not like case sensitive. You can write it your way. But HTML have lots of tags. I have only told you only 20% of tags. It is not possible to show you all the tags. That tags have been available in the HTML5. Like in the HTML, there are 140 color codes is available in the HTML. Is it possible to show you that 140 color codes to show you show you guys? It is not possible like that. There are lots of tags. In fact, there are from many tags that I don't know even. So that's why it is not possible to show you all the tags. But most important tags I am showing you. Most of the time, most of the time you will use that tag. So please try to do it. Try to make a website from yourself by adding a background images, adding some text. After completing the HTML5 and CSS, you guys try to do a project. You guys try to make your own website. Just need to just make a structure and style it as per your requirement. Make a website for yourself. Add some images like
Okay, sir.
okay, like make your personal website. That website, if someone is giving your website, that website will describe yourself. Okay, okay, so
Okay, sir. If there is any problem while practice, I will tell you the next day.
okay, no issue. I'm always for you. If you
Okay,
anyone
sir.
having any problem, please tell me, I will try to solve it. Okay.
Okay,
I'm
sir.
ending-
Thank you, sir.
Thank you very much. I'm ending the session for today. We will
Thank you.
so
Thank you, sir. Have a good day.
okay. Have a good day.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you.